Wow. Hey guys, good day, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hope that you're having a fantastic day so far. My name is Cyreta Laws-Frumau. I am a performance and mindset coach with the Proctor Gallagher Institute. I am going through the book with you, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And can you believe that we are on chapter 13, the brain? So if this is your first time joining me, Think and Grow Rich is a book written by Napoleon Hill in the 1930s. It has sold over 15 million copies. I am going through this book to inspire you, for you to take action towards your goals, for you to move towards your desire, for you to influence your own lives and the lives of those around you. Napoleon in this book interviewed over 500 men and women who were able to transform their lives and influence those around them. My mentor, the late Bob Proctor, read this book for 60 years. It changed his life. And through his sharing and teaching of this, has shared millions of lives around the world. And so in his memory, and also for my own purpose as well, and to share it with you, we are going through this book, and we are already on chapter 13, which is just amazing. This book has 15 chapters and it holds 13 success principles. So the chapter on the brain. Today, we're gonna discuss how the brain works. Based on the information in this book, we have learned a lot of additional things since this book was written, but it provides really good foundation for what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the intangible forces. And lastly, we're going to talk about telepathy. So, no one really, Napoleon rightly says, no one really understands the full power of the brain. Of course, we are making a lot of strides, especially in the 21st century. We're understanding all the things more. But like I said, we're just going through the information right here and know that it's only going to get better and better. So what is the brain? Based on working with the late Alexander Graham Bell and Dr. Gates, who we spoke about in a previous chapter, Napoleon states that the brain is like a radio. So it can send and receive signals. It can send and receive thoughts, the impulse of thought. So understand that the brain, which is a switching station, okay, similar to how a radio operates, can send and receive thoughts. And thoughts are energy that are traveling at a high rate of vibration. So what is happening is that we become more receptive when influenced by positive and negative emotion. In the last chapter, we spoke about how powerful the emotions are and how they can influence the subconscious mind. So there, of course, because of the rate of vibration, right, we are also picking up vibration from other brains. And we pick up not only thoughts and ideas from other brains, but we also, with our own thoughts, get picked up and our own thoughts get picked up and is acted upon by our own subconscious mind, especially when it's being repeated, when it becomes a pattern. We can see that being shown to us in our results, in our lives, because it's the thoughts that we repeatedly think. It becomes our blueprint. So this is how the brain then helps. The brain is the one that's transmitting like a radio, like sending those signals. And we said in chapter 10, I believe it was, how this emotion of sex is the most powerful emotion, especially when mixed with romance and love. And the emotion of sex does stimulate the brain. The subconscious mind is the sending station, and creative imagination is the receiving station, he says. Now, it's very important that we review chapter 6, which speaks about imagination, and chapter 4, which goes into auto-suggestion. We're going to see how these really linked. So we are attracting, isn't this like amazing that we're attracting thoughts and ideas released by other brains? On page 304 of my book, I want to point out something that Napoleon says. He says, you have but 3 principles to bear in mind. So these are the 3 principles he wants us to bear in mind as we try to understand and to apply this, is that when we wish to use our, our broadcasting station, so when we want to use our brain, the subconscious mind, creative imagination, and autosuggestion are the 3 principles we need to bear in mind. So that's our first point that we want to point out in this chapter. Also a short chapter, but pretty interesting as well. The second part that we want to talk about, or the second point, is the intangible forces. The intangible forces. So we're physical, right? We can see physical things, but the things that are not physical, the things that are not tangible or intangible that we can't see, which is so much more powerful. The things that are unseen are more powerful than the things that we can see. And Napoleon rightly says here that the other self, so even though we look inside of a mirror and we see the physical us and we think that's it, that's not it. That's not who you are. You're not your body. You're not your name. Okay, those are physical things. The other us, the spiritual side of us, is a lot more powerful than the physical self that we see in the mirror, because we are spirits having a human experience. So, and you can understand this when you think about your experiences in life. I mean, experience is the best teacher. Okay. Okay. Napoleon goes on to talk about, the power, like mankind, we don't have the power to control the intangible forces. And some intangible forces that we can't control, or we don't really fully understand. The power of gravity, He says that we are subservient to intangible forces. Another intangible force is that of electricity. We don't know where it comes from and we don't know its purpose. And also the intangible force of the soil of the earth. This force, which provides us with every food that we eat, every clothing that we wear, every dollar that we carry in our pockets, we don't understand how the soil, how it really functions. And so important here is we don't understand fully the power of the brain. He says the brain is a central switching station that is it's a central switching station which connects the brain cells with one another, equal to the figure 1 followed by 15 million figures. I mean, this number is so huge. He also says that there are 10 trillion? No, that's 10 billion to 14 billion nerve cells, in the human cerebral cortex. And these cells are so arranged in a definite pattern. So it's not random. Like whoever designed us, whoever designed the brain, whatever designed the brain, infinite intelligence, God, the creator, consciousness, is beyond our comprehension, really. I mean, we can try to comprehend it on with our physical understanding or with our physical mind, but I don't think we will, just me personally, I don't think that we will truly ever understand it from that perspective. What are your thoughts about that? Okay, so then Napoleon says that the same system, it is not likely that the same system which gives billions of brain cells the media for communication, one with another, provides also the means of communication with other intangible forces. So what he's talking about here is that, you know, we might think that the purpose is, you know, bodily functions and just maintenance of the physical body. But what if it's more? They always also say that we are only using 10% of our brain. If we're only using 10% of our brain, like, what are we able to achieve if we can double that, like use 20% of our brain or 30% or 40%? What would happen if we're using the full capacity of our brain? That is just something to think about, because we are doing our best, you know, we're achieving the things that we think that we're capable of achieving. But what would happen if we started using our brains more? Think about that. Okay, and the final the final point I want to talk about is that of telepathy. Telepathy and clairvoyance. Do you know what telepathy is? Do you know what clairvoyance is? Napoleon, basically, he links the two. And I looked up the meaning of telepathy, and it says that it's how one person is able to connect to another person. So it's like it's a transmission of information from one person's mind to another without the human channels or physical interaction. So when someone is telepathic, we say that they're able to communicate thoughts directly from one mind to another without speech or signs. So without physical aid, we're able to communicate thoughts with another person. That is telepathy. And there are a lot of stories around it, a lot of experiences. You might have had your own. If you read from page 307 to 309, Napoleon goes into the experiment of Dr. Ryan. But I just want to point out a few things that he says here. You know, sometimes people have prophetic dreams. Sometimes they have premonition of something that's going to happen. And we think that, wow, that person is special. However, because we're all built the same way and we all have the same faculties, the thing is, we all have this power. We all can use telepathy. We can all be clairvoyant. We just need to stimulate our minds the right way. And the only way we can do this is through experimentation and practice. And we're able to find, you know, solutions to our personal problems, but not only our personal problems, but also other problems in the world as well. The chapter, remember when we spoke about Dr. Gates, how he was able to create 200 patterns and how he sat down, how he cleared his mind, how he put himself in the frequency to receive or to download from infinite intelligence. It is through practice and it is through awareness that we are able to not only increase our vibration, increase our use of our brain, but also how well we are able to communicate and connect with infinite intelligence. We all have this power. We just have to decide how, if we want it, or desire the thing that we want, the thing that we're praying for, the vibration that we're in, the emotions that we allow to settle within our subconscious mind. We choose the life. We really can choose the life that we want to live. Not saying that it's easy or that it will be done quickly, or it can, but it's really, we have to be patient. We have to be persistent. We just have to be positive, be aware, put things into action, and all of this that we're talking about, can be experienced by all of us. There's a quote here on page 311 where it says that the depression was a blessing in disguise. It reduced the whole world to a new starting point that gives everyone a new opportunity. I've heard a lot of persons say this about COVID when we underwent a transformation. It did open a lot of us to different possibilities. We started thinking differently. And it was because we were spending a lot of time at home. A lot of persons spent a lot of time in deep reflection about what they want and what the purpose of their lives. So it's in a similar way that we want to use this information. We want to think differently and think what we want, and also impress what we really want upon the subconscious mind. And as much as possible, through habit, impress only positive emotions. The negative will come, but be aware that they're negative and that we want to be vibrating more in a positive way, using more positive vibrations, and bring the things that we want into existence, using our brains more. So that's it for chapter, what did we say? This was chapter 13, the brain. It's the 12th step toward riches. And it's the brain is the broadcasting and receiving station for thought. In our next video, we're going to move on to chapter 14, which is the sixth sense. And it's going to tie in really nicely with the subconscious mind and the brain. So look forward to doing that chapter. It's a little bit longer than the brain chapter, but really good. All right, until my next video, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and let me know what your thoughts are. And just how, are you gonna, do you have ways that you're gonna use your brain a little bit more? Find a quiet place and think about what you want to do. Until my next video, take care. Thank you. Bye.